What's up, fam? How y'all doing?
She done cut us off.
Press the wrong button.
You
Man.
got happy.
Look.
Maybe you still recovering from the way y'all got stung last Saturday.
No, don't do that.
Oh, I can't wait.
Don't bring that up.
Oh, we going on.
I just deleted.
Oh,
I just deleted my A&M
it's too
background.
late.
All right. Play with me.
Montgomery's Inspiration Station, Praise 96.5 FM, WMGY. Locked in with yours through the Ground Prince, Pastor Trey.
And your boy, Pastor Libby.
This is Straight Church.
No chaser.
Where we keep things real, relevant,
Yeah.
and
Righteous.
Before we dive into the conversation, I have to do this.
What you got to do?
A for Alabama.
All right.
S.
Amen.
T-A-T.
Amen.
Don't turn me down. U. University. A. S.
A&M.
U.
Go Bulldog.
A&M got stung. They still recover.
Hey, Doc. We
They
just
haven't been the same.
we had our mental health day
Y'all
Monday.
needed it. Needed it bad.
Hey, Doc.
It
You know.
came at a better time.
You know.
We had to have an altar call for all the Bulldogs. They was just stumbling. I felt bad for them. They got stung up.
The first shall be last, and the last shall be.
It ain't that season right now. Y'all got stung.
Nah, it's okay. We'll accept.
Go
it.
State.
Well, hold on. Now
Go Hornets.
You do got to remember.
Go Hornets.
We won 2 years consecutively, and now y'all won 2 years consecutively.
Yeah, but we talking about what happened last week.
Okay, I'll let you.
Yeah.
I'll let
Hey,
you.
all my Alabama State fans, let's sing it one time.
Again.
For Alabama.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
T-E-U.
Calm down. Let it go.
Go Hornets.
Go Hornets.
All right. Mm-hmm.
Now
Y'all
we
better.
just get out of the way.
Y'all better now.
We had to get that. Oh, we was better that Saturday.
All right.
We told y'all we was coming.
I'm done. I'll let you have
We
it.
told y'all we was coming.
I'm gonna let you have it.
All right.
So, man, how's your week been, bro?
Week's been great. Can't complain. State did what they had to do last Saturday, so you know.
That was last Saturday.
Grateful. It don't matter. My week was great because State did what they had to do.
Oh God.
I was praying. I was like, man, I hope my brother can still function come Sunday.
You saw me. I put on my ASU colors.
I hope he can still.
Yeah, I put my ASU
You
colors
had no
on.
choice. You had no choice.
Then I put my A&M. I had my A&M sweater sitting under me while I was getting ready to preach.
You needed some comfort.
Nah,
you needed some comfort. That's okay though. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. No, all jokes aside though, man, week's been good. Can't complain. Just grateful to be alive. To see a brand new month. We're in the month of November, so we definitely thank God for that. And just a reminder that it won't be long, if the Lord shall tarry, that we will be crossing over into the year of 2024.
My boy.
And I'm just excited.
You sounded so old when you said that.
It's all good.
If the Lord should tarry.
If he should tarry. I know some of the saints felt that in they shundo.
Oh, Doc, I love it.
They started quickening. If he should tarry.
Oh man. So how was service?
What, this past Sunday?
Yeah, this past Sunday, man.
Service was amazing.
Because you were wearing ASU stuff.
Yeah, we had our Rep Your Team Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And we just repped it real good.
I like it.
Sunday was great. We had an amazing time. It was just awesome to see people wearing their favorite college sports team paraphernalia and apparel, things of that nature. But knowing that we are a house united, we're not a house divided. Although we may represent and cheer for different teams, at the end of the day, we're all Restoration-ites, and so we represent it real well.
Team Jesus. Let's
all
go.
Day, every day. How was your week?
I mean, it was cool. It was dope. I should be tired right now.
Yeah, man. I heard you had to fill in.
Yeah.
This morning.
Your pops is somewhere in the sun, and he left me down here in the cold, and I got up. That's the earliest I've gotten up since I went to Baldwin Middle School. Yeah, man, I ain't never got up there. Man, that clock went off, said 6 o'clock. I said, no, I wasn't ready. Had to jump up, man, throw some clothes on. Yeah. Man, so, it was cool. We've had a wonderful day here at Praise, man. We hope and pray that all our listeners have the app so you can listen to us on the World Wide Web if you're not listening to us on your radio. We know a lot of us, we don't listen to radio no more, but we do listen to our phones. So, absolutely. Download the Praise 96.5 app so you can get us via Bluetooth in your automobile. You can listen to us anywhere on the globe. I mean, there was folks listening in Germany.
Yeah.
Your daddy got folk really listening, man.
From all over.
Finland.
He international.
It was some cities on there I ain't never heard of.
Global, man. Global.
Bishop got it going on, man.
Global.
But we are excited. Simply that we're alive.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're excited we're alive. And my family, man, we won Family of the Year with
Really?
Family Guidance. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
major.
Man, yeah, man. So you can look for us on WSFA at some point this evening. Some people don't watch the news either. Huh? So I'm gonna find a way to share it on Facebook.
Well, they probably post it on the app or something like that.
There you go.
Get the news alerts, things of that nature.
I didn't even know they had an app.
Yeah.
Wow.
WSFA?
I use News Alert. I need to get their app.
Yeah.
Did they pay us to say that right then?
No, but hopefully there's a check somewhere.
Okay, all right, amen.
In
the mail.
Speak those things that be not. Already are.
I love it. Well, Doc, we got some guests here today, man, and I'm excited about this conversation. These two wonderful women.
Yeah.
And they got this beautiful color on, red. And I think they got a lot to share with us. Because I heard they some Delta women. And I can't say it like they can say it, so I'm going to let them say it when they get on here. But we definitely want to shout out all of our Facebook audience. I definitely want you to share this broadcast. Get some more people in here. I see a Delta's in the room. Sister Captain came through here. But we definitely want to shout out all of you who are in Facebook land. We want you to share this broadcast. Get some more people on here. Let them know Straight Church No Chaser is going on right now. And it's a good opportunity, a good time for them to get all this information to help not only themselves, but even their children, their students. This is a station that cares about the community. And we're definitely a show that cares about our community. So we're going to bring them on, but we're gonna need y'all to throw some hearts on the screen, all that good stuff, put those there. Did it come? There it is. Hearts on the screen, all that good stuff. So shout out to you, Erica Thompson. We see you. Good afternoon to you. Sydney Williams, Sister Alicia Peacock, Reverend Jonathan Gilbert. What's up, man? Latrice Essence, how you doing? Sister Cap, we said it. How you doing? I was gonna say something different, but I'm going to keep that. I'm going to let your sister say that. Well, they probably ain't going to say it. I might have to say it later on. Shout out to you, Elizabeth Williams. Good afternoon. Ronna Muro, how are you doing? Pastor Trey.
What's up, man?
We got these two guests, and we're going to shut up because I think they got a lot to say. And then we're going to talk to them about this. But I think we should get our sponsors out the way first. Let's go.
Got to shout out the Wellness Coalition.
What?
Working together to improve health and access for all. It's the Wellness Coalition. And also, we got to send a very, very special shout out to our A1s since day one. Shout out. Teddy Bear Foundation, founded by our big sis, Tara, and Mama Sonia Mills McCall. The focus of the Loving Teddy Bear Foundation is mental health awareness with a concentration on suicide prevention. This foundation is a tribute to the life and memory of Brother Colin Connor. To learn more about his story and the Loving Teddy Bear Foundation, head over to their website, which is lovingteddybear.com. And if you would like to make a donation to this awesome and amazing, absolutely amazing foundation, you may do so via their website or on Cash App. Their cash tag is $ Loving TB Foundation. That's $ Loving TB Foundation. So make shouts out to our sponsors.
Shouts out. They listening, man, and I hope and pray y'all feel better as well. I know they're at home. Dealing with some illness, but God's got you.
He's able.
You're gonna be healed. That's your portion. Believe it, receive it. It's yours. Now, look at you. You about to switch modes on us.
They say on that
we gotta change it. Give me the spooky chord. Nah, man, but we're excited. So we have these beautiful young ladies with us. And I want them to tell the world who they are, okay? So I'm just going to give you their names. They're going to tell you all this stuff that they do, all these great things that they've been a part of for so many years. They love this community, y'all. And so we definitely want to introduce to you none other than Sister Brenda Coleman and Sister Claudia Mitchell. Y'all make some noise. So, go ahead. Talk to us.
Hello. Good afternoon. And thank you so much, pastors, both of you, for allowing us to be here with you this afternoon.
Yes, ma'am.
On behalf of our president, Tanya Stevens, we are members of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
There it is.
And we are proud to represent our organization in this community.
Absolutely.
Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated is a service organization of college-educated women, and we are focused on service. Mm-hmm. We have 5 programmatic thrusts, one of which is educational development. And that is the topic that brings us to your station this afternoon.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am.
And we do want to talk about something important that's going on in our community. But before I get into that, I'll let my sister here speak.
Who is your sister?
Well, thank you for inviting us. I'm so happy to be here this evening.
Yes.
I am Claudia Thomas Mitchell.
Yes, ma'am.
A Delta for 50 years this year.
That's
so
amazing.
I am so excited about my
That's
50th
amazing.
Deltaversary.
So that means you've been financial for a long time.
A long
Ain't
time.
God good? We want to make a way for you. Okay. Also,
Some people might know us because we wear 2 hats. Not only are we with Delta, but we're also on the Board of Education. So education is truly a part of our DNA.
Wow.
I love it. I love it. And so we have you 2 sisters here today to talk to us something that's very necessary, very important and imperative for our community. I want to call it a call to action. And I know we say those words a lot often to get better turnout to the voting polls and things of that nature, which is something you all do well as well. But I think it's a call to action for the House to be aware of something that some of us aren't aware of. So I would love for you to talk to us about it. What you got to share?
Okay, well, the first thing is those of you who have been keeping up with the news, in 2019, our legislature passed an act called the Literacy Act. And through that act, a number of students are going to be at risk of failing 3rd grade if they don't reach benchmarks. Now, there's no one in this city or state or nation even who would want students not succeeding. So we are not fighting the benchmarking.
Okay.
Therefore, if the students are at risk, the call to action becomes for us to make certain that they are ready.
Right.
We must help to get them ready. And so the call came in to me by another soror who is also a member of the Montgomery County Board of Education. And, recognizing that we do wear multiple hats, she said, we've got to get our sisters behind us. And so we took it to our sorority, and the Educational Development Committee jumped right on it. And those members reached out to you, and we are going to, take it even further, but they reached out to you so that we could get the word out to parents and other community leaders to understand that the school is not the only place these students can get help.
Amen.
Now, the schools have placed some measures, have put some measures in place to help our students, but we are ready to go back old school. Talk about old school.
Yeah.
There's a village.
Absolutely.
And we need to let that village do what it does best.
Absolutely.
Whether we look at families, whether we look at D9 organizations,
Correct.
and we have not promoted the fact that we are being interviewed or having conversation with another D9 member. And he can talk about that if he wants to. But at this time, we want you to know that Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, the Montgomery, Alabama chapter, has decided that we are going to implement multiple ways. And you'll hear more about that later. But today, we are here to work with you to make sure that parents and families are informed about the act. Hopefully, they have been in contact with their schools. Their schools have been in contact with the families because the law does provide for outreach such that the schools and the teachers inform families of students who are at risk. And they should have gotten that information at the beginning of the school year, and they should get it again, sort of midterm. And near the end of the year, there will be another assessment, such that we know which students need our help the most.
Absolutely.
When we talk about a village, we are going to include our churches.
Absolutely.
And being with you, I have been so excited just to engage in 2 or 3 conversations with Pastor Walker. And I'm ready to help however I can.
Absolutely.
And hope that we are establishing Pastor Trey. I apologize, I don't know the last name, but
it's all good.
With Pastor Trey and Pastor Lee, we want to make certain that this becomes a healthy, thriving relationship and partnership.
Absolutely.
So that whether we are wearing the hats of Delta Sigma Theta or Montgomery County Board of Education, or in my case, Christian Education Director for my church.
Awesome.
And we have another church leader sitting
Lord
here.
have mercy.
So, we are ready to get into the community to work with you and help our churches.
Yes, ma'am.
To help develop the skills and talents of our children.
I love it. I love it. I think one of the conversation, questions that I had in our conversation was, what can churches do? Some churches have children's church now. Some do not, at this particular moment. But what can we do to raise the literacy level of the young people that are in our churches?
Well, I can speak to that, serving as a Christian education director for many years. There must be a call to action.
Yes, ma'am.
The clarion call must go out
for
the children.
Absolutely.
The pandemic set in and they strayed away. But we have to get them back in to the churches by any means necessary. Through bribery, through treats and games. Let's just be real.
Look, we need some incentives, right?
We need some incentives to get them back in. But the main thing we want to have is to bring in that love. That's what they're looking for.
Wow.
Children want to feel love.
And
they want to know that you care.
Absolutely.
And in the society that we're living in, it seems to be a season of darkness where you have the fake news and all of this is going on. The only place in which the truth can be found is in the Word of God.
That's right. That's correct.
So we must instill in them, through reading the Bible, through the Bible stories, the truth of God, so that they will be able to make wise decisions. That is the basics.
I love it.
The first book I remember my parents got for me was reading was that little red book that I cherish that had the story of Adam and Eve and the apple.
I love it.
It makes a difference.
Absolutely.
We always say reading is fundamental.
That's it.
But reading is fun.
It is.
And mental.
That's correct.
And mental. I love it.
It's fun and mental.
I love it.
That's it. That's it. That's
so we can use, bring the children into the church, giving them the fundamentals that they can learn the truth of God as well as how to read.
Wow.
I love it. I see there's tons of people on Facebook, some hollering, "Go Deltas, get the word out." That's Sister Vicky Cooper Robinson. We see you, Ruby Barton. You're in here. They say, "Good afternoon, ladies." There's some others saying, "Hey, fam," and woo woo. Hey, hello, sorors. Yeah, they're everywhere. Taking over. But we definitely, I see some other comments. I see you. I think that's Kesey. She's saying that she would challenge churches to host maybe a literacy game night where teens can debate about biblical texts with evidence to support their claim. Let the children read the scripture during service. We used to do that back in the day. You used to call it responsive reading, right?
Yes.
All together, right?
Yes.
It was the all together part.
That was it. That was it. Like, that was all it. Like, we got to get the right tempo, right? She also said read announcements in church. And I think all of those things, the more that we can encourage them to read, I believe it's the better, right?
That is correct.
So I don't know are there any stats that you might have? Any consideration of how many kids might be, potentially in danger?
Well, that's a great question. We don't have our stats right now for Montgomery,
okay,
but the State Department did release a few months ago that 12,000 Alabama students are at risk of being retained in the third grade. 12. So, therefore, you've already said that the station is seen and watched, seen and heard globally.
Yes, ma'am.
So across the state, if people are listening, do know that it does not just affect Montgomery. This is a nationwide problem, but the numbers that we have represent Alabama. And when it at 12,000 babies in one grade level, that's a lot of children who are at risk. And so what we want to do is make certain that education is accessible. We want to take down some of the barriers. We know that, as stated earlier, the pandemic caused a great learning loss. And we can help to maybe not tear down all the barriers, but we can make learning accessible. And this is one step right here, asking our churches to join us in this fight and become volunteers to go into the schools. There are procedures for doing that, but please, if you are able at all to be substitute teachers or volunteers in our schools, or even finding other venues in our churches.
I love it.
We need to start tutorial programs in our churches and bring the students to our buildings, or going to community centers and places where they are.
Absolutely.
To communicate with, find a child to tutor.
Right.
One child at a time, each one reach one. If we just reach out there and help a student to overcome some of the hurdles. And I love those recommendations about game night, reading the announcements, and look, sit and get is a thing of the past. These students are not going to sit for 45-minute lessons and listen to the teacher and color pages. There's nothing wrong with the coloring the pages, but they need to know what it is they're coloring.
You have to engage them.
Absolutely. Please engage them. And it's not just reading what's on a printed page. Yes, we want them to read and sound out. And I love the fact that her first book had the word apple in it. When we talk about Adam and Eve and that apple is one of the first words, one of the key words in recognition. So our students do need to know how to make the sounds. Right. So we can have them read these early learning books or whatever the scriptures are there at the church. But additionally, they can do reflective learning or writings. If once the class is near end, they can journal what it was the lesson was about. That not only helps them to assess what they have learned, but it allows them to write the printed word.
Absolutely.
There are a variety of ways, and I'm excited now that we have engaged, we have begun this conversation. Some of us tend to go down those rabbit holes, and I'm looking forward to doing more research and finding other creative ways that we can engage the church.
I'm excited about it. Now, I think we're having to go to commercial.
Yeah, we got to give it a go to commercial break.
Let me ask this quick question. Can people look to Delta Sigma Theta, Sorority Incorporated, for some educators who potentially could aid or help their churches or other spaces?
Absolutely.
Amen.
It was the look. It was the look, though.
That's what I did. That was a true look. Yeah. That was a true Delta response there.
Deltas are all over. We are in the church. We are working, and we are willing to help.
And we are ready.
I love it.
I believe it.
I love it. Well, we'll be back, right?
Yeah. Listen, you all keep it locked. We have more with these very distinguished
devastated.
Bodacious sisters. Listen, y'all keep it locked. There's more of Straight Church, No Chaser.
All right, so we got some people online that they're jumping in, they're talking. I see Dennis Deloach. I don't know, can y'all see the chat? How do you see the chat on this? It only lets you see one thing at a time, I think. Okay. Yeah, you can't. Restream didn't do that, did it?
Nope.
I'm gonna have to go back. So Dennis, our brother from DC, the DMV, who listens to us, he said they have some funding from their city for faith communities to set up tutoring as programs where the churches have literally taken Bible lessons and turned them into reading comprehension lessons. I don't know if funding, of course, we know that'd be an incentive for some churches to make it happen. That'd be something we probably could check into. Sister Bree, Gabrielle Rose said, if we have the kids, what tools should we use? Whether there be websites or just any books that y'all would suggest or anything like that. We'll kind of cover that when we get back on the air, Bree. Kesey said tools to use can be, but are not limited to requesting educator to come in and provide strategies. All students have iReady. I'm assuming that's a program.
Yes, in Montgomery, MPS.
That's MPS? Mm-hmm. Okay, yes. And she says churches can ask to show pathway learning to show growth. I know Kesey, I believe she was or might still be, I'm not sure, an assistant principal. So she got some good tips for us today. Okay. Two very fine educators and leaders. Love these two women of God. This is Sister Sandra Ware. Kesey says tools, annotate the 23rd Psalms to relate the text to now. Wow. Ask the questions. What does it mean? How does this verse apply to your life? How can we relate this verse to what we are living in? And what's so interesting about what Kesey is saying, especially in that moment, that's what we got when we were younger.
Yes.
We had more educators in church that were teaching, yes. As a crusader. I remember all of that. I
was over Alabama Middle District, wow. Red Circle for about 10 years.
Wow.
So
you was running in the district,
but you had the districts.
Well, hold on. I see. Earlier you said y'all were wearing two hats, but then y'all said Christian education in both of your churches, so that's a third hat. How do you put all these hats on your head?
I try to wear them one at a time.
One at a time.
But
we multitask.
Absolutely. And that's what people have convinced me of. For instance, when I said to them, I'm going on the radio as a member of Delta Sigma Theta, and I was not concerned about protecting the Board of Education. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But they reminded me, everywhere you go, they know you. People who know me and don't know me personally know me because of the Board of Education.
Absolutely.
So us sitting here, we are representing, whether we say it out loud or not.
Absolutely.
We're representing the Board of Education as well. But we did not come here under that authority. We came here under the authority of DST.
That's what
that is?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't me. Mine is not over.
I'm muted over here.
Is it
could
good?
Be that, yeah. The phone.
My phone is on silent. Is
yeah, mine is on silent, and I'm not on anything.
Yeah, I think we located
I got
the culprit.
It was me. No, okay. And that's real. You represent everything you're part of. Mm-hmm. I guess I'm wondering, how do you all balance it all? How are you balancing it? With all the multiple tasks that you do, you just built for it, huh?
We just do. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going.
My Lord.
That's it.
And I've heard that cliche, if you want something done and done right, get a busy person to do it. Mm. So, yeah, we are busy. I do represent a few other organizations, but again, not under their authority. President Tanya Stevens gave me permission to be here and to talk about this. So that is who I am representing today, even though I threw out that church information because I want you to know when I talk about work in the church,
you got
it's not just my research that I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I do this work.
Absolutely.
And I'm so excited. Our tutorial program is not up and running right now, but I am more motivated than ever to revitalize that program. And I have challenged the members of the Christian Education Committee at my church to, number one, find me a good 15 to 20 volunteers to train and to go into the schools.
I love it.
Go in as readers. And I know we're talking church, but again, families are crucial. And so I want to take us back. I'm old enough to be old school. And the 50 years of Delta, I congratulate my sister. But my 50 years happened 2 years ago.
Oh,
so
show out.
We have been on the battlefield for a while.
Absolutely.
And I did a good 40 plus years as an educator. So, it's not just the Board of Education that gives me education experience. I was on the battlefield there for over 4 decades. It's in, I love the way she put it, it's in my DNA.
Yeah.
And when we look at the fact that our parents, all those years ago, raised us up to be educated, but they sent us to college to be 2 things. Teachers and preachers. So if you wanted respect in the community, you either went to be a teacher or a preacher. And so this is where culturally our young people have grown to know and understand who they are, whose they are, why they are. And for our young people to be able to live with purpose, we want them to be able to feel good about themselves in any place they are. Our students don't need to feel that they are second to anything or anybody.
Right.
We don't want our kids feeling less than. And over the past few years, our young people have been made to feel that they are not relevant. They are relevant, and we want them to know it. We're going to tell them as often as possible, but we are going to make certain that they're not just out there feeling good, that they are able to acquire the skills they need to be successful. When we talk about literacy and reading, we are talking about the foundation of our education system. They have to be able to read in order to be successful in all those other classes that they're going to take. And again, I know we're talking church and we're going to get back to that, but families, let's take some of those old-fashioned road trips. We used to have competitions reading road signs. We have young people now, they recognize symbols, and I'm not going to call the names, but you know what they look like. And we now have a name for that. We call it branding. But when it comes down to branding, they recognize these symbols, going down the road. So they can tell you whether they can read the words or not. You think they're reading because they're saying there's this place or that place that I would like to go. Well, we want to make certain when they see those symbols that they can also associate the words that are on the sign. So when you're traveling, when we take road trips, my goodness, and instead of the babies asking, are we there yet? Have them read the signs. I have always been a traveler, and I know where I am by mile markers. And by the signs,
It's old school. I'm like that too.
Look, definitely old school. And yes, I can take a map out of the glove compartment and I can read that map. Let these students read those maps. Let them measure the distance, what 1 inch represents and how long it might take them to get there.
Right.
I said, take them, didn't I?
Yes.
Okay. I got real relaxed. How long a particular trip might take them. Absolutely. There are so many ways families can help out. When we go to the grocery store, how many of us allow the students to help us read
The labels,
the list, the labels, prepare to go to the grocery store? If this is what we're cooking, what do we need to buy? Make the grocery list. There are scores of ways that families can help. And I'm sorry, I do tend to get a little bit verbose, so you go ahead and talk, and then we'll get back to talking church stuff.
No. We'll be back on the air shortly, but I think the biggest issue is we've allowed our desire to rush everything. We've allowed ourselves to be so busy that we're not being intentional about those small moments you just spoke of. And I can just imagine even myself, right, guilty walking through the grocery store, just rushing to get what I need so I can get up out of there.
I want so and so.
Y'all get behind me now. Follow me. What y'all doing? Versus, seeing and that I think is the interesting part of all of this conversation. I think all of us parents can be real about the reality that we didn't even know what level our kids might have been reading on sometimes.
Well, I would just really like to share this with you. I had an aunt, Aunt Mary.
Hey, Mary.
Aunt Mary.
When she looked at him, I thought he knew her.
No. Who I did not realize that she could not read.
Oh, wow.
Every time we came over to her house.
Was she reading the newspaper?
No, she would have us to pull out the Bible. And, tell you, now you go to Matthew chapter 13, and I need you to read. And we had to, every time we went to see Aunt Mary, we had to read the Bible to her. And she would tell us where to go. Wow. The thing that I'm trying to say is we had a generation of people, some who could not read, but they valued education.
Yeah.
They knew that education was the way. Yeah. It was the key to everything. Yeah. And what you value, your children will value.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We don't value education the way we used to.
Yeah.
I taught junior high and I at Floyd. And they had the elementary and the junior high. The elementary was always full of parents. There was a few less in junior high, but in elementary, the parents were there making sure that their child got the foundation. Now, today is a different world. We understand you may not always be able to be there. And then there were some parents who weren't able to be there, but they checked on their child. Yeah. And now it's even easier because you can check through email.
Yep.
Wow.
You can check through the phone.
It shouldn't be.
You can check on your child. And when they see that you care, they will care. That's the key. Children want to feel loved and cared for with agape love.
That's it.
All right.
Come on in here, Sunday school.
Love
shout me, y'all.
Is not how much you give me.
Right.
Or the toys that you purchase for me.
Come on here, Christmas.
A lot of that should have been on there.
Come on here, Christmas. You finna have every child getting books for Christmas.
Amen.
Play with me.
That's right.
They ain't gonna be mad. You gonna read a book. Right. That's what you gonna do.
They'll get over.
Nah, I love that.
Be all right. Yeah,
I love that because we now we have Power School and all of these other apparatuses that schools are using. So you know what your children are making on grades and et cetera,
or
should, right? And prayerfully, that one conversation can make a little difference because I was born in '88, so I got a little old school, a little new school in me. And so I had some conversations with my babies, right?
You're with my son.
I'm with your son.
Babies. That's
well,
I had
we gonna have some straightening around here, you know what I mean? But one thing for sure, and I remember doing this about a month ago, and I did not do it again. I took my kids to Target. We went to Target. We went to the book section, and I told them to get a book because my son loves to get on the PS5, and my daughter loved to lay and watch Netflix. It ain't gonna happen every day. I just come from them household where my dad was like, if I ain't laying down, you ain't laying down. Like you need to go do something.
Your job is school.
Right.
Everybody around here gotta work.
Right.
Now pick one.
And so I think that's one of the and we're about to be back on. I'm thinking, Trey.
30 seconds.
I'm thinking that's one of the things I know that will help some of us who have busy lives but need our own way of monitoring our children's progression when it comes to their literacy. I've heard there's some programs that offer free books. I've heard that libraries.
I'll be talking about that.
Awesome. Libraries still have library cards, I heard.
Library, yes. And books and programs going on.
We need to get them to get that van back up and get them to come to some of these churches.
And like we had neighborhood book clubs.
Really?
Yes, I was in a book club when I grew up.
That sounds fun.
It was so much fun. And then we would get a book and then we would do what the book said. Like we had a book on camping. And then they took us to the country and we made our pancakes on the tin can. You apply what you learn. That's exactly correct. I love it. I love it. When you read the book on camping, then you go camping. I mean, and you can camp anywhere. So I ain't gonna buy my kid no camping book. Now, I'm a little spoiled. I can't go outside.
Montgomery's Inspiration Station, Praise 96.5 FM, WMGY. It's 3:44 here at the capital city, hanging with yours truly, the Crown Prince, Pastor Trey.
And your boy, Pastor Lee B.
This is Straight Church.
No chaser.
Where we keep things real, relevant, and
righteous.
Once again, we would like to welcome to the golden microphone our special guests. These two distinguished ladies, you know them, you've seen them, and if by chance you may not know them or you have not seen them, you have definitely heard them, heard of them, heard their names. Yeah, you done heard of them. Yeah, you know something about them. Google me. Something about them. We'd like to welcome back these two beautiful and bodacious, these two super bad sisters, Miss Brenda Coleman and the one and only Miss Claudia Mitchell. Y'all give them a hand as they come back to the golden microphone.
They hear. Bad grammar. It's all good. Don't listen to me. Nah, man, we're excited. I did see that Sister Kesey was still giving some more tidbits. We're gonna have to look at that. She said money is available at the state and federal level as long as the church has its 501c3 status, or maybe it's not the church but another entity. And I think a lot of churches have 501c3s that are separate from the church. So we can use that wealth that the wicked had and go ahead and use it for the righteous folk. Amen. Praise the Lord. Amen. But we definitely shouts out to everybody on Facebook. If you're not on Facebook, you're listening via the radio and you want to really have some conversation, ask some questions to our guest today, you definitely can. Jump on Facebook. Find us at Praise 96.5. You can tune in. We're live. You can see us, like my eyebrows and everything, and you'll be able to ask questions to our guests. So while we were off the air, you were telling this great story about Aunt Mary. Aunt Mary was a great story because I believe she serves as a great example of what we all need in our family. Yeah. Someone who will push us to do something that is good for us while we don't even know that is really good for us. We're just doing it out of compliance, but it makes us better. Yeah. And I gotta say, Aunt Mary sounds a lot like my granny. Really? And a little bit like my daddy. You know, my daddy finds stuff for us to do around the house. Yeah. And he say, keep doing it, you're gonna get strong. Now I ain't strong yet, but I'm on my way. But no. So we're excited to have this conversation because literacy really matters. And I believe we have to shift from a space of saying that our youth are the future, that they're next, and realize that they're now. The future's now. Yeah. Yes. And if we don't honor, if we don't respect, if we don't teach them the fundamentals now, then they're not going to have it in the next. And all of us will be in a world of trouble because somebody is going to have to take over. Somebody going to have to watch over us.
That's right.
Wipe our mouths, all that good stuff.
Yes.
And we want them to be literate and capable of doing so without all the other help from other places. We got to help them now. Like now. I need E flat. Now.
Absolutely.
That's when the church folk listen. Now. Right now.
No, but it makes a difference. Though. Like education, at least for our community, the Black community has always been the key.
Absolutely.
When you look at every advancement we've made, the church and education has always been at the forefront of those advancements. And so it's no wonder that we are at a place and a stage now in this generation and society that we need the church and we need education to get us back on the right track where it is that we need to go.
And I truly thought about Aunt Mary, and let me say it the way I usually do. Aunt Mary.
Aunt Mary.
That's it.
I like it.
Who truly, I said education was valued by us as a people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize when I was a child, every time we went to visit Aunt Mary, she would say, go over there and get that Bible and pull it out. Now I want you to turn to Matthew chapter 13 and I want you to read that to me. And I said, why is it every time we go to Aunt Mary, we have to read the Bible? She always wants you to read. And what I did not realize was Aunt Mary couldn't read.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But she knew how important it was.
Yeah.
So any of my cousins who went by to see Aunt Mary, they knew that they were going to have to sit down and read that Bible.
Read the Bible.
And if you messed up, she knew. That's why we didn't know she could, because she had memory. She had heard the scriptures so much, and so she had memorized. She would know if you were messing up.
Absolutely. I love it. I think another beautiful lesson we can get from that, and we titled this episode "Be Helpful, Not Hurtful." And I think one of the things that my generation of parents do often is that we declare what our children don't need because we didn't get it, or because we didn't know it. Because we didn't know or need it, we think at least. But Aunt Mary knew that although she couldn't read, y'all needed to read. Exactly. And that is necessary.
Absolutely.
That we're not allowing another generation to start off, struggling like we had to struggle, or not knowing because we didn't know, but rather we're pushing them to get all the knowledge that they can have and that they can get.
You can't afford it.
Absolutely. I see some people saying we also need to get the literacy level of our families up. Many times our kids don't value literacy. Absolutely, Dennis. We were briefly talking about it, but I just remember now, I used to go home to Hampton, Virginia every summer in my youth. And every summer camp had a connection or a relationship with the library, the local libraries, and they bring that van out, and the van would be full of books. And we were so happy as little kids to have a library card. And this van would pull up and we could go in there and pick whatever book we wanted and we check it out. Now, it'll cost us if we didn't do what we were supposed to do, right? But ultimately it didn't cost us. And I think we still have a great number of libraries in the city of Montgomery that parents can take their children to and get a library card and get a book, and they could check it back in maybe 2 weeks or so.
Absolutely. And hopefully the family members will also get that library card. So if you don't mind, I'm going to jump on 2 or 3 things you said.
Come on in.
Number one, on the library card, our public libraries are waiting for children and families to come in. And here's the good news. They are digital also. So when you go in there, you get that library card.
Wow.
You can check books out online.
Wow.
You can check your books out and read them on your device.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to the public library every 2 weeks to return the book or to check it out.
Wow.
Of course, we want you in the place.
Absolutely.
The space is there to do a variety of things. And the library doesn't look anything like it looked when I was a child, nor when you were.
Right.
I just learned that Pastor Lee is the same age as my son.
Wow.
And although he visited the library, I have taken my grandson to the library, and it's an entirely different experience.
Absolutely.
He does have a library card from the Montgomery Public Library.
Mm-hmm.
So, take your babies in there, and they can, again, access the materials. You also mentioned the mobile units for the checkout. Just keep your eye on Delta Sigma Theta.
Okay.
But I will also speak to persons at the library to see, what's available, because look, it might already be available and we just don't already know about it.
Absolutely.
But I do want parents to take the students in, and one of the online participants said something about making it a family affair.
Absolutely.
That is absolutely necessary. Whenever I talk to audiences, I talk about our students, but I never leave out the family. I promise you, if we get these students, I almost said K3, but our focus this year is on 3 because of the crisis we're in.
Right.
But we want to help our students at every level to succeed. Yeah. And as these young people begin to grow, and as families begin to help them grow, the family members will learn and grow as well. And I don't want to keep getting personal, but as a child, my young man, my student, my grandson loves for Mama to read to him. But when it came down to him getting books at his book fair, he got books for his little sister. So I told him, now when you take this home, you have to read to her the way I used to read to you.
Yeah.
Man.
And he is a ready reader. But these so-called reluctant readers, they are reluctant because they haven't been exposed. So I encourage any family member to please give our babies access and encourage them and participate with them. Don't give them the book and walk away.
I love it.
Very important. And we do have other resources available.
Yes, ma'am.
The governor just formed a relationship with Alabama with the Dolly Parton Imagination Learning, and those books are free.
Wow.
They get free books every month from birth to 5 years. The books will come directly to your home. You can go to the website and register online, or you can download the form and mail it in, or you can check with the Montgomery with the River Region United Way. They are the major sponsors for that program, which is a phenomenal program. You can sign your child up today. Birth to 5 years, free books every month.
That's something.
I love it. I went to the website while you were saying that. It says there's an update. It says due to large volume of registrations, we're currently operating on a wait list. But that's fine.
The form.
Right. Fill it out. While you're waiting, go to your local library. I think they need us to come through. I think the walls have been crying out for us to come. The last time I went to the library, not only did they have some of the same systems that I was used to, like the Dewey Decimal System and all of these other things we learned in elementary school, but they also had equipment for podcasting.
Yes.
I saw a 3D printer the last time I was in the library. So there's all types of new technology that is in our local Montgomery libraries. And this is a good opportunity for you to just take your whole family on a field trip. I believe wholeheartedly that we're allowing our children to experience some things too early and some things too late. And going to a library, going to an aquarium, going to a zoo, going places where they have to read what these signs say could be a blessing for you. It could be a blessing for your family. It could definitely be a blessing for your child's growth and development. I see some people chiming in. Jamise Gray says, I will never forget that one of my 6th grade teachers said, if you want a person not to know something, put it in a book. Because most people don't want or like to read. It's sad, but it's very true. Absolutely.
My grandmama said, put it in the Bible.
Oh Lord. And the plot thickens, right?
No, but it triggered a memory because I remember growing up and my dad would say there are two things you need to learn how to do in life: read and count. Because no matter where you go, no matter what you see, you're gonna always see letters and numbers. So reading and counting are fun and mental. They're fun and mental.
Bro, I promise you, I'm gonna find some books. I'm not even gonna call this store out because they don't pay us no money. But there's some stores in Montgomery that sell books, and that's gonna be some Christmas gifts this year.
Yeah,
we might mess around New Home and have a book tree or something.
Great idea.
So listen, if you're just now tuning in, of course, we have two beautiful, bad, and bodacious sisters, Miss Brenda Coleman and Sister Claudia Mitchell, and they're here basically shedding light on the literacy issues amongst our students. And I know we've been talking about third graders. So can you just kind of shed light on exactly what's going on with the reading as it relates to our third graders?
Now, and I will go ahead and say at this time that you also turned a light on with me. There's also a numeracy act. Wow. So it is not just reading, it's reading and math. So
Lord.
Those words and numbers are still important.
Absolutely,
okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So third grade is pretty much, research shows that if a student does not have the requisite skills by third grade, he or she might be at risk of not being successful as the student moves on.
Okay.
So we're looking at holding him back in skill development. That's the word I'm looking for.
Gotcha.
Holding him back in skill development in higher grades. So, when a student takes these tests, by third grade, if they have not benchmarked, that's why they are looking at retaining them, because the research is telling us, okay, we've given them a chance to grow from kindergarten to first to second to third. But we know that if he or she has not achieved by third grade, then most of these students will not only get behind, they are at risk of dropping out of school somewhere between the 8th and the 10th grade. So, well, they can't drop out.
I was about to
they begin failing,
Man,
and that's where we pretty much know that we are looking at a future dropout.
Wow.
I used to hate to hear the term school to prison pipeline.
Yeah.
But it has been told to us, and we need to listen, that our governing bodies are building prisons based on the success or failure of our students in our school systems.
Wow.
Man.
They are looking at the retention rate and the dropout rate to determine, with these numbers, we are looking at a certain population of those going to jail or to prison.
Wow.
And once I made that connection, it became real. Well, I didn't like the bias. I didn't like the just preparing our kids for prison in their psyche. But if the research is showing it to be true, we have to do more. And that's why I tried to make it perfectly clear earlier that although we are here talking to you about third graders, that's because of the critical period that we are in right now.
Yeah.
But we are going to maintain the work that we're doing, and we will spread the work out to reach second and fourth, because the second graders are going to be our third graders.
Right.
So if we just stick with third grade, we're always fighting an uphill battle.
Always be behind.
Always be behind. So we are going to broaden that window of help and support so that we are helping children and families for years to come.
So you really got the ball, and I think we got to go.
Yeah, we got to get
legal ID. We'll be right back.
Y'all keep it locked. This is Straight Church, No Chaser. Here on Praise 96.5 FM, WMGY.
Hello.
As long as this is in my face.
You're doing it.
This is Terry Barber.
Got the jingle, then we're coming right back.
Okay.
We want to thank you for listening to AM 800 and FM 96.5 W243CS WMGY Montgomery.
Y'all not tired yet, are you?
No, I just feel like I'm talking too much.
Say it again.
I just feel like I'm talking too much.
Oh, you preach well. You preach well.
You're doing great. That's what you do.
Phenomenal.
Y'all doing an amazing job.
Say DST, phenomenal.
What was the place I was gonna say? I was gonna say, what's the place in Goodies? You remember that? The what is it called? It's where Goodies used to be. Promenade, Chick-fil-A, the place that's the store Ollie's. They have a book section.
Oh, I swear by it.
And the prices?
I run through there and buy so many Bibles and good courses. They cheap, man. It's amazing prices and good content.
Wow.
Yeah,
but that's a good place to go.
That's where I take my grandkids on field trips and let them choose books. Yeah, like I'm having problems with my grandson right now.
Wow.
Because he reads books in class all the time, and you really hate to punish him. My son says he hates to punish him. But you know, like I bought them like the whole kits of the books. He'll read them in a week.
Wow.
I mean, thick books.
Wow.
Just
absorbing
it in his dad. And I used to have to attack his daddy to make him read.
All right.
Montgomery's Inspiration Station, Praise 96.5 FM, WMGY. We're now 4 minutes past the 4 o'clock hour. It's 4:04 here in the capital city. By the way, the temperature is set at about 71 degrees on this sunny and the splendiferous Friday afternoon. Again, you're locked in with yours truly, the Crown Prince, Pastor Trey.
And your boy, Pastor Libby.
This is Straight Church.
No,
come on, we supposed to say
no. You were about to say
no. I said Straight Church. I laughed a little bit so you can come in and say no chaser.
No chaser.
Thank you.
That's what I got right
now.
No, that's what I got right now. No. You start over again. I can do it again.
No, it's okay. It's okay. This is the show where we keep things real, relevant, and righteous.
Righteous. Yeah, absolutely. You took that one. I give it to you. It's all right.
It's all good.
No, man, we having some good conversation, and I was ready for us to come back because I had a question for you from a parent, right? When I was younger, we took accelerated reader test. We were big on the AR test. It was a whole competition in the classroom. It was like, bro, you ain't gonna beat me. Like, how many stars is that book? Oh, yours is 4, so I'm going for 6, right? Like, I'm going deep. I'm reading the Britannica Encyclopedia. You know what I mean? And so I don't know if that is still going on, but I do want to ask the question: how can we in the house know our children's literacy level on our own? Are there online literacy tests?
Well, there are, and I'll be honest with you. As I was doing some research about literacy and how to help our young people, I took one or started taking it, and it did not give me what I wanted. It told me how many words I could read per minute, but that did not help me understand how we could do the benchmarking.
Right.
That doesn't say it's not out there. It's just saying that I haven't found it yet.
Yeah.
So, if someone knows it in our listening audience, I'll be happy to do further research if you send that to us, but I will be looking for those and talking to people in our district to see what else is available. Because
comprehension is the goal.
It is truly the goal.
Not how fast you can read.
And absolutely. Go ahead.
That is so important. And in our school system, we have just purchased several new types of software.
Awesome.
In which we are incorporating. And I'm sure the teachers and the principals in the school systems can actually tell you a little bit more. Okay. And we also have a way in which parents can log into their students' profiles.
Wow.
and they can actually determine and see where their children are in that. We do have that type of software in the MPS school system for parents to check.
I love it.
And please let me add this. This is from a fellow parent or a school board member or a former teacher, wherever you want to take the advice from. Please, 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 parents, let the schools know how to reach you. These teachers and administrators are trying to get the word to parents as to where our students are as they progress along.
Yeah.
But so often they get disconnected phone numbers,
no.
or they get answering machines, or there is no number available.
Yeah.
So give us a good telephone number, give us good email addresses.
Absolutely.
So that you will always be informed where your child is. Some of the information might not be as good as you want it to be, but again, we don't want to get further behind because we don't know what we need to know. Yep. We want to know where our students are and how we can help them. It has been brought to my attention that several of our schools are having parent meetings for the third grade parents to give them a collective, to give collective feedback on what's going on with the Literacy Act at this time.
Okay.
And, 5 or 6, a handful of parents are showing up to these. Now, I'm not stupid. I'm very well aware that some of our parents are working when we're holding these meetings.
Absolutely.
But again, make sure we have good telephone numbers and email addresses. And if you are not in contact, if you have not been contacted about your third grader especially, reach out to the school and find out where the gap is.
I love it.
This is critical. We are in crisis right now with our third graders, and we don't want to wait until May when it's time for them to be retained and react.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We want to be proactive.
Absolutely.
And keep this from happening. We want the child to be prepared for what they are about to face, not wait until they fail and then they have the self-esteem issues to be, you're in third grade, you want to be promoted to fourth grade.
Absolutely.
To be with your friends. You don't want to be
Nobody
held
wants
back.
to be left behind.
Nobody. Nobody.
Yeah. So tell me this. We're in crisis mode. This is a clarion call, a call to action. How much time do we have?
I mentally tried to make an assessment, and I'm going to say less than 5 months for the next test. I don't have that date on me, but those assessments are usually done around March or April.
Okay. I do thank God. It's actually Pastor OG Henry Davis and Big Roxana. I believe they just started a free tutoring program on their campus. I don't have all the information, but you can definitely go to their Facebook.
And it's on our website.
It's on our website as well. Amen. There you go. Go to praise96.5.com and you can get all the information about their free tutoring. And I believe they said it's open to the entire city.
It is.
So that's a blessing. More churches, I'm sure, will be doing things of that nature. So it's really just, you need to go get what you know you need and or your children need so that everyone can grow to a place where they can continue to be promoted. Because as you said, and I think that was paramount, right? The conversation of not be reactive, because I can only imagine how these parents are going to be on y'all when little Johnny baby does not get promoted and mother didn't do or father didn't do or family didn't do what they could have done.
Yeah, they'll say, I don't know. And what I do know is Montgomery is a very special place.
Absolutely.
We are quite a tenacious sort of people. We know that when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. And it's just about that season where the going is tough right now.
Right.
And it's going to be tough for our children. And it's nothing like a mother whose child is in crisis that wouldn't break through barriers of any kind.
Absolutely.
To make sure that their child gets what they need when they need it.
Absolutely.
And the clarion call is going out for mothers to get in protective mode. Take care of your children, prepare them so that they can be successful. And that's what this conversation is all about. We're calling out mothers.
Come on,
take care of these babies.
Y'all heard what she said.
Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. All right. No, but seriously, that matters, and I'm grateful for it. I see Nate said something out here. Now, Nate asked what happened to the book fairs in school. Now, I'm going to tell you this, Nate. My children still have book fairs. The problem is they take that $40 and come home with squiggly pencils and notepads and they ain't bought no books. That's what my children problem is now. I don't know. I'm assuming that they still have them in every school.
I don't know.
I can't speak.
You
can't speak on that.
One.
Got you. I think majority of them they having them. I think kids aren't bringing the little books home. They're not telling their parents probably, or the parents aren't sending money to the school. And I know without a shadow of a doubt, some of these kids going in there buying stickers and candy, and they ain't thinking about no books
and posters.
Oh yeah, my daddy didn't play. You better come home with a book, and you ain't getting no $40-$50. All I had was about 12. That's about all you gonna get. You better find you the book in there that you want, and you know exactly where you go. I go in there and I come straight back out.
I don't know how many of our MPS members are listening, but I will tell you what another city did. They had book fair for a week, and each grade level had Grandparents' Day.
Lord.
And so if a kid had 4 grandparents to show up, not only did 4 grandparents buy lunch that day, 4 grandparents went to the book fair, and each grandparent bought books.
I'll let you.
You know, I know when my grandson checked out, the lady said, "You one lucky child," because he was allowed not to do one purchase. He was allowed to make his separate purchase per grandparent who was present that day.
Wow!
So it was a beautiful day. And I'm hoping that we are doing wonderful, constructive things. And I think we are. I have heard about the Grandparents' Days, and I have heard about book fairs. I just cannot answer the question about every school.
No, you're totally fine. I thought about something else in my childhood. I used to get mail, and it was from like the Scholastic News.
Absolutely.
You remember we'd always find Waldo and all that good stuff. And so is that something we still can sign up for our kids?
It's still available.
Okay, I'm gonna check that out.
I bought a subscription for my grandkids. And they love it.
Is it still as fun as it used to be?
Well, that's what they say.
Not only is Scholastic providing the stories, they are trying to address the standards as well. And so they're not just a fun, they're still fun.
Yeah.
But they are fun with purpose.
Absolutely.
Again, fun and mental.
Yeah, absolutely. I used to love them, the stories about the animals, all of that. And that gave me at a young age a great interest in animals, whether it was the Montgomery Zoo or that Birmingham Zoo. I just love to see some animals and read up on them. Now, I had an interesting conversation earlier with Mr. Barber and one of our station supervisors here as well earlier, and we were talking about how now it seems, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, that there's not as many trendy books for those age. We got huge age gaps where there's not trendy books being written for them like there used to be. Like I used to remember stuff like Harry Potter. I used to read one every summer, and it was like a competition. And if you was on the last one, then you way behind. You need to catch up. We used to read stuff like Boxcar Kids, we had all these different kid books that were kid friendly for us to read. And I told you I went to Target. And it was a little difficult because my babies are there's some very intelligent kids. And I open up some of the books and I'm like, yeah, no, it's not even enough words on the page. Like, we ain't doing this. And so I almost have to go to a novel for them to read certain books. I think it would be Goosebumps. Then it's so many books that we read, man. The girls had their own books. all the anime stuff. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of pictures and colors, and ain't no words. And so maybe we need to go back and pull out some of those, those clubs,
some of those classics.
Well,
yeah.
And what we have to remember is supply and demand. It's important. We have to remember it's about the dollar.
Yeah.
And if they're not selling and people are not buying, so if we demand what you're saying is we need to start asking for these things. And if we start asking for it, the supply will be there. The books are available.
So it's on us.
It's on us to require.
Definitely on the
We must require of them. If we're not asking for books for children to read, it won't be there.
I like it. True. I see somebody said babysitting club books. I remember them too. And they taught good morals, and there was so many of them. Like they would stick with it from like 4th grade all the way to middle school, and it was interesting. Goosebumps, Babysitting Club, Junie B. Jones, all were classics. I love it.
Yes, I remember teaching, teaching science, and instead of kids listening to me. They would be have that science book with the babysitting club, and then it got to the point where, I would say, give me that book. You cannot read that book in this class. This is time for science. And then it got to the point where I caught a kid reading a book during the class, and I just said, well, sweetie, go on and read. Because I was so happy to see him reading something.
Times have certainly changed.
So the times have changed, So I truly understand what you're saying. It was during the 80s when it was all about the books.
Yeah.
So we have to bring that joy back because it was fun. I mean, you still remember it now when you're an adult.
Absolutely.
How much fun reading can be. And we have to get that back into our students today. They don't know what they're missing.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. The places they could go.
Yes, in their minds, their imagination.
Regardless of how political we get when it comes down to Dr. Seuss. When I read, the places.
Yes, ma'am.
The places.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I think it's imperative that this needs to be even more directed, right? I think what took the place of the students reading their books was students hiding their cell phones. And I think cell phones have taken the place of our curiosity, our imagination, and even the time. Lord have mercy. Don't get me started on the tick and the tock. But our opportunity to read and enjoy what we were reading is because we have so much visual content that's really not doing anything for us, from an educational standpoint. We gotta put those phones down and get back to these books. I love them, and I ain't even gonna lie, I'm not even with the audio books. I'm a little old school. If I can't hold it and flip a page, it ain't the same.
It is not the same, and I have confessed as an English teacher. When I started reading books was after I had used all my reading my listening on my audiobooks when I travel. I went into a public library, and when I realized there was nothing I was interested in reading, I stood there, hands on hip, going, and I'm in a full library, that has books in it. So instead of listening to the books on tape, yes, that's how old I am. Yeah. Or books on CD.
Yeah.
Instead of listening to those, I walked myself, lazy self, over to the bookshelves and pulled down a book.
Yeah.
And we need, whether we are older adults learning the joy of reading again, or for our children, start with what intrigues you.
Absolutely.
Enjoy it.
And if we find something that we enjoy reading, and I found myself busy people, not being able to read during the week, but if I could pick a book up at 4:00 Friday afternoon, my goal was to be done before Sunday morning because I didn't want to have to read it after I got back home from church.
I love it.
Now, I didn't do it every weekend, but when I could, even if it meant 2:00 in the morning reading, I would finish my book before church, before Sunday school on Sunday morning. And once I got through that period of, oh, I can read a book myself. I don't have to listen to it. Then I could enjoy reading for 2 or 3 hours, and give yourself a schedule. You don't have to do that mad dash that I was doing at that time, but rediscover, because I know people listening. And that's another thing. Our students model what they learn and what they see.
Absolutely.
So when we give our students these books to read, we need to get one for ourselves.
Yes, Lord.
And model reading and, talk about book clubs. Have a family book club. This is what we're going to read this week or this month.
I love it.
And have a discussion about it.
I literally love buying a bookcase and getting it full.
All right.
I love it. There's nothing like having to buy another one. So, I mean, Amazon have them. They'll have the ones where you can stack and all of that, $40. You fill that thing up, then it's the next one. And I'm so terrible. Well, I ain't gonna say terrible, but I've read so many books. Now, I ain't doing it in a whole weekend. But you give me a good 2 books a month, I'm in there. And I legitimately have so much fun reading that I don't even buy bookmarks. I use the receipt that I bought the book with, and it immediately gets folded up and it's in there because I'm after it. And I'm gonna tell you, don't read a book before you go to sleep, because you're gonna have some dreams. I see it everything, man.
But listen, we'll be back with more if our lovely guests decide to stick around a little bit longer.
We might as well.
I think they having fun.
She said we might as well. So listen, we're gonna have them stick around, and we're gonna invite you all to call in. Those of you who are listening, if there's a question you may have that you would like to ask these 2 young ladies, will create that opportunity for you to ask if you have questions. If you are a pastor or part of a church or an organization, a nonprofit organization, or any type of organization who would like to join the fight, you hear the clarion call, and there's a burning desire on the inside of you to help our children make up this literacy gap, then we're going to create the opportunity for you. But keep it locked. We got to pay some bills. Gotta pay these bills. This is Praise 96.5 FM WMGY.
Yeah, so
I am so excited about what we had promised ourselves we would be here 1 hour.
Yeah, we did. But
most people can't just stay here for 1 hour.
You're so engaging, and I thank you for that.
Such beautiful voices.
Oh, bless you. Bless you. It comes with being a preacher. It's a part of our outfit.
I love it. I'm hoping
So
that
she.
Right.
some of our people will share their stories.
I think that would be amazing. I would encourage you all. Y'all could potentially do this, right? I think, what is it? Is it Read Across America?
We tell me about it. We do that. But
So a time, maybe 2 years ago, I was helping one of my dear friends as he was a part of Leadership Montgomery, and we shot commercials with them holding up books and reading the books to the people, whether it be a testimonial or a video of someone reading. Y'all are already on it. I love it. See?
If you can go to MEF and see my book.
MEF? Is that what you said?
Yeah, Montgomery Education Foundation. I'm a quilter.
Okay.
Wow.
And I read a book about quilting.
Oh.
And I brought and showed the kids how to quilt and showed them the quilts that I had made for my grandkids. Montgomery Education Foundation reading.
Love it.
And I know it was probably sarcasm when you said, Google me.
Mm-mm.
But I'm saying, Google me.
Right.
Because, was it Facebook or YouTube? I think I had
YouTube.
some on Facebook and some on YouTube.
Yeah.
The ones on YouTube will be easier to find. And I do use my hyphenated name, Doremus Davis. That's my sister.
Yeah.
Doremus Coleman. And I have, I'm reading a couple of books as well.
Awesome.
And we are going to, and I'm
MGM
reading them.
Reads, that's it. Did you see MGM Reads?
Oh.
It's on YouTube, I think.
Oh, it's on YouTube. Let me look on YouTube. I might be able to show it to them. I might be able to stream it in. Summary.
Education Foundation and MFP. I had it.
Yeah, I see WSFA did a report on it. Montgomery Education Foundation distributes more than 12,000 books.
Yeah, that's a different one, but this is the MFP. There they go. See that? See, that's some. That's look through those.
That's
I'm
a young man.
Somewhere. Yeah, keep going. I was one of the first ones, so it may be those were. I have on blue. There I am. To the right.
Yep, sure is. Showway.
Showway. Yeah. The quilting.
I love it. So, and that's your book.
No.
Did you write the book?
No.
Oh.
No.
She said she is a quilter.
Got you.
And she read that book to them and showed off her quilts.
Got you. Now my mom just made me 2 quilt blankets. She does it in her spare time as well. Mm-hmm. Them things are so heavy.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
I started to lay it on the bed, but then the sleep demon was gonna hold me down. I wouldn't be able to get up in the
morning. They're confident.
Absolutely.
Pastor Trey.
Yes.
Daisha, these kids will never know the fun of the card catalog and the Dewey Decimal System. I know. We used to have so much fun with that stuff. I used to want to be a librarian.
Oh, wow.
I wanted to be a librarian and or just work in the library because I love books and I love being in that space. And
it means so much for young men to hear you say that.
Absolutely.
I can only imagine.
Make it cool.
I can only imagine. Yeah. I mean, it's I love books. I love books. I mean, it is all that you need. And I think we live in a world now where there might be something we need to push more anyway. Especially when we start talking about mental health and things of that nature.
Oh yeah. That's the key. You know, mental health just means you're mentally stable when you hear that love. That's what the agape love is. Mm-hmm. It keeps you grounded.
Absolutely.
So that you don't have mental health issues.
It matters.
Mm-hmm.
It matters.
I remember when I first came on board and I would walk into the school and the students would say, the board member over here, don't nobody care about us. Don't nobody come over here.
Wow.
You don't want to care about us.
Yeah.
And many times I have
at no point in my school career did I feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to do well because I knew my teachers cared about me.
Absolutely.
And the people in the church expected me. But when report card time came, what you make on your report card? Let me see. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't make an F, a D, or an F.
To our culture.
Yeah.
If they a little too low, they were on me.
Like you could do better than that.
Exactly.
So I mean, they were gonna ask every time.
Pastor Walker, are you 647?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I have it here. You sent it to me.
Correct.
Okay, as a matter of fact, if you go ahead and scan it, it'll ask you if you want to set one up.
Okay.
And look, talk about going down a rabbit hole. I started filling that thing out, and all I wanted on it was my telephone number.
Oh, you get to add everything. You can't look. You cannot help it. I did the same thing. I have a few.
But I would do that before.
I got a few of those DIY. Well, not DIY. What am I talking about? A lot of those QR codes as well with my contact, and I end up all the way from TikTok to Twitter to everything on there. You follow me every way you need to. Yeah, so I think this is good. I'm interested. How you doing? I'm interested in seeing what some of y'all's favorite books are. I mean, what are you reading now? Matter of fact, I used to ask people that question all the time. They look at me crazy. While I'm watching, no, what are you reading? What are you reading? And it matters. Me and Pastor Trey talk about it all the time. Like preachers have to be readers. We have to be readers.
You must.
And we got to read more.
You must comprehend.
Right, right.
And you can't be faking it.
No, not at all. And we got to read more than just the Bible.
Definition of every
we have
word.
to.
Make sure you properly pronounce.
Enunciating.
We can't look. We can't successfully lead us as people.
You can't. you can't tell. You can't read the book of Job.
Oh my.
Turn the job.
Job chapter 5.
Yeah.
What was it your president said?
Which one is that?
The one that couldn't pronounce, was it
45?
It wasn't.
Oh, no.
2 Corinthians.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's what he said. Now I ain't gonna lie. Now when I was in high school, President Bush said instead of conscience, he said conscience. I said, oh okay.
Yeah.
That's a conscience.
He have a point. 45 made it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Bush was a little. But he had some smart people around.
He did. He
had
did.
some smart people.
You can't lead if you don't read. I'm with it.
And we have people running for election.
Now, what are y'all reading? What are you reading right now? There's some of y'all on here. What are you reading?
To the people online.
Oh yeah, we're doing a lot at the same time. Yeah, we're on Facebook.
Oh, we good. They used to. You fine.
They heard it.
Fine.
They heard it all.
Don't you start that. Give me your hand. I'm making coffee.
What are y'all reading? What are y'all reading? Everybody quiet. What y'all cooking there?
Are you following the recipe?
Right, what you cooking? Oh, and that's a whole nother comprehensive level there. Currently reading. What are you currently? Just finished a sci-fi 3-book series on iBooks, Touched by Fire. What's it about? I like a little sci-fi.
Oh, I love sci-fi.
Yeah, I like a little sci-fi.
Right now, I'm reading the Blessing novels.
The Blessing novels
by Beverly Jenkins.
Put that down.
Oh, well, you know.
my every
I like Beverly Jenkins.
Every 3 months I'm on Amazon probation.
She purchased
because I buy too many books, Trey.
Those
books I bought with the eyeless, I still ain't touched them yet. The one that I bought at Climb, I bought 2 of them now.
I started reading one of the books I bought from ILS. I think it's called The 5 Watershed. So it's looking at different transitional moments in the church, and it's more so of a theological. And you know, because I'm in school now, I'm eating them books up. Yeah, I'm eating those like books up.
I've been more in the devotional space because it aids me in not being too philosophical, but making everything more practical. So I've been in a lot of those, and I think we're in a space where a lot of people are wondering what is their purpose, how do they step into their purpose. So I find myself reading a lot of those types of books, so that I can have the language that they understand.
In the age of desire, how do I make this word practical and relevant for where I am in life now?
Absolutely.
I think
because that's the hard shit.
But our generation is doing I believe we're doing a better job of making the word practical for people to just grasp and run with. And our predecessors did a phenomenal job during their time in their era.
And with the information that they had available to them.
They did a phenomenal job.
But see, you all have such a wide
absolutely
resource pool.
Yep.
that you can just get information from almost anywhere.
And the
but
only
one
issue
important
with that,
thing.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, because we might be on the same wavelength. Go ahead.
Is that you have to be careful where that information
Absolutely.
is coming from.
That's it.
And
Absolutely.
whether or not that information is credible.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my philosophy of education, my personal philosophy, is that you only go to school for two reasons.
Mm-hmm.
To learn how to think logically,
Mm-hmm.
so that you are able to solve problems,
Mm-hmm.
and how to get along with people.
Wow.
Wow.
If you can do those two things,
That's good.
then you are educated. All of the things that we do in school should fulfill that core purpose.
I love it. I love it. No, that's solid. Critical thinking is one of the biggest issues. But I've been reading this book called "Stop Asking for Permission." This pastor by the name of Stephen Chandler. He got the foreword with John Maxwell, so it's a pretty interesting book about stepping into your gifting and your calling and making no excuses. Yeah, because often we look for other people's validation.
Okay, now
he said, "Go do what you're doing."
Walk all by myself and me and Jesus.
Yeah, look, that's all you need, ain't it?
That's all you need.
She said she started the first one because it was free, but it was so good you had to get the other two books. That's good. Now, I like it, Nay.
Which one is that? The Stop Asking or the Touch by Fire?
That was the Touch by Fire. She said it's 3 books.
Okay.
The first one's free. And she said it's on iBook, so she's talking about on an iPhone, iPad, some Apple product.
Well, I've already found it.
You already found it?
I found it.
I love it. There's another one says.
Well, I went away from the page because I was looking for this author so I could let him know. Yeah, this one is not religious, but The Warmth of Other Suns by Isabel Wilkerson.
Oh, I like her stuff.
Isabel?
Isabel, Isabel Wilkerson.
Okay.
And it is not a weekender.
Okay. No, I don't like those, to be honest.
It's not a weekender.
I like the long books. I like character development. I like all of that type of stuff. It depends on what they're giving me. But
well, and this is about the Great Migration.
Wow.
And she visits real people and tells real stories. But I mean, it is so engaging. You know, I am a weekender. I like being able to read a book and finish it, but I was able to read some over 400 pages of Warmth of Other Suns. Wow. And not miss a beat.
Wow. I love it.
She is that engaging in her writing.
I love it.
Man.
Jamice Gray says she just started back reading Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting Together in the Cafeteria?
Okay.
By Daniel Tatum.
Yeah.
She didn't tell me that.
I like that.
That's my goddaughter.
Really?
Keeping all the good to herself.
That's that sounds like it's good. Yeah, I'm about to be on probation again, buying too many books. Then it said The Shepherd's Look in Psalms 23. W. Philip Keller.
I hope I'll be able to read my notes when I get home.
You need some more paper?
I write upside down and backwards.
Oh yeah, you're like me. You have dysfunctional notes, but you know how to make them function.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a method to the madness, right?
Yes, yes.
And Get Unrealistic by Pastor, I'm gonna say DeBlair Snell. Get Unrealistic. I like how that sounds too. It's about a group of people who can't mate outside of their race. Touched by fire. They can't mate outside the race, but there aren't visible signs. Like if you meet your mating partner, your skin will glow or your hands will light fires when you're together. They find their mates and keep a low profile because the humans are trying to kill their race out of fear. That's sci-fi for you, Nay. That is sci-fi for you. Walking in My Healing.
Wow.
By Elois Wash. Yeah, that sounds real good. That sounds real good.
What was that author?
Elois, ELOIS. IS, wash.
WASH?
Correct.
Okay, that's what I don't know why I was here in Washington.
Yeah, I'm finna go straight to Amazon. We finna have some fun.
Oh, yeah. And don't forget our local bookstores.
Sure. You need to help us with that. What local bookstores do we have that we can go? Because,
Oh my gosh, I always go and I go and buy my earrings from there and I forgot them
is it downtown?
downtown.
The
Across from-
black owner?
Yeah,
Yeah. I've heard of it. I don't know the name of it.
yeah.
But see, once I lost Lifeway, it was like, man, no other bookstore, because that's the one I stayed in.
That was the one I walk in. They say, "Hi, Miss Rich."
Montgomery's Inspiration Station, Praise 96.5 FM, WMGY 442 here in the capital city. You're hanging with yours truly, the Crown Prince, Pastor Trey.
And your boy, Pastor Libby.
This is Straight Church.
No chaser.
Where we keep things real, relevant.
Yeah.
And
Righteous.
once again, we are joined by these two awesome and amazing sisters of ours, just beautiful, bad, and of course, bodacious. They are delightful ladies who are proud members of the, well, I don't want to say nothing because I don't want to mess it up. I'm going to let them say it.
You can say it well.
I can say
I'm
it.
sure. Absolutely.
Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm trying to make sure you say it right. I'm trying to make sure you say it right because, you know.
The Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated.
Sorority Incorporated.
Hey.
It's all right. We'll get you there. We'll get you there.
There you go.
Hey. I did pretty good.
No, you did good.
I did pretty good.
Good job. Good job.
You ain't
Thank
hating
you.
on me.
Thank you.
They ain't even say nothing. Why are you always hating on me, man?
Hey, you know.
Listen, you gotta let it go. Just because
Look.
my dad let me sit in the pulpit,
So that's what we
and
are.
you couldn't sit in the pulpit with your dad at 5.
Hey,
Hey, man,
look,
you gotta let that go.
by the time by the time he wanted me to, I ain't want to. I'm going to the choir stand.
or
Peace.
the drum
I'm
section.
sitting on the drums. Peace. Yes.
No, but once again, we thank God for Sister Brenda Coleman and Sister Claudia Mitchell. They've been here the last hour and a half, entertaining us and educating us, and really helping us to shed light on the literacy. I don't know why I keep wanting to say literary, but literacy issues among our students. And they've been sounding the alarm and giving the clarion call, especially pertaining to our third graders. And I learned something new today, and I'm sure many of our listeners learned something new as well, that the third grade is a very critical time for our students.
Yes.
Because, and I want you to explain it once again, just in case somebody is tuning in to us and they missed you earlier. Why is the third grade so critical?
Yeah.
The third grade does become critical because we hope that by this point they have the skills they need to be successful in all subjects and in later grades.
Wow.
And research has shown that if a student has not acquired those skills by third grade, he or she is highly at risk of failure and being a dropout.
Wow.
So we want to make sure that they are armed and ready to move forward successfully.
Wow. That's major though.
It's very major. It's very. They're still calling out these books.
If you don't mind, can I ask you, how long has this study been going on? Because this is my first time hearing this.
Oh my gosh. Well, I cannot tell you how
Okay,
long, but
okay.
I can go this far. I learned that kind of data over 10 years ago in some of my postgraduate courses.
Okay.
So the literature is out there. And since you took me back to those days, that's where I first read, why are all the Black children sitting together in the cafeteria?
Really?
That's right.
Wow.
So I'm thinking it's a new book because I'm sitting there like I ain't heard this one before.
I mean, they have really been schooling us today.
Yeah. Look,
Seriously.
and they're putting more out here, and I'm just on Amazon going.
Well, you know, it's
Going
really
ham.
important. I mean, any elementary teacher
Mhm.
in any school at any time
Wow.
knew that information.
Yeah.
That is, if a child is not ready by third grade to read proficiently, they will have problems.
Wow.
You know, they'll get behind if they have not mastered those skills. by third grade. Each year it's going to get harder and harder because you move from the first level of learning to the next level of learning, in which you have synthesis and analysis. But if you don't have the basics, if you don't master your alphabet sounds, then you cannot read when you put them together to make words and to make bigger words. Same thing with numbers. If you don't know your facts, you're unable to move to the higher level of math.
I gotta apologize to my first and second grade and even third grade teachers. I was clowning around.
Oh Lord!
I gotta apologize. If you're listening, I apologize.
You was one of them.
I don't know about the one of them. I'm sure
but if they are still with us, find them, give them a call, send them a letter. I will have to tell you, scores of my former students keep in touch with me.
Wow.
And it's always good news. I am so glad that they are in my circle of friends. And yes, we are focusing on third grade because we are trying to get them to a point, but there are touch points earlier that parents need to know. And if you recognize, we have kindergarten, we have pre-K, that we call it PK4, that's for 4-year-olds. We have PK3, that's for your 3-year-olds. But some of our students are not successful because in some of our communities, we don't engage those programs. You know, some people might think it's too early to send our babies to school, but truth be told, if we don't start educating them, even if it's at home, they're not going to be ready when they reach kindergarten or first grade. You know, so even, you know, there are groups that believe in reading to our babies from the womb to, you know, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade. So what I would encourage, yes, that at home reading is vital. My babies have books they haven't read, and because the spines haven't been cracked, I'm sorry, that haven't been read to them. So if the spines haven't been cracked, when the baby is old enough to read, I have him or her to read that book. But it will get read, whether it's read to you or by you. And so, you know, let's buy these books. They might have one word on a page. Go to the $1.25 tree and
Don't say it's not the Dollar Tree anymore.
It ain't no more. Look,
$1.25 tree.
The $1.20. It might as well just be Dollar General like the rest of it.
No, I apologize for being sarcastic. No, but you made me that comfortable. Seriously, for those of you who are still being serious out there with us, buy these books for these babies. Teach them words and word recognition. Teach them how to sound out the word. You don't have to know the science of reading. If the teachers are using the science of reading to teach, let's use at home what we know to get our students to engaging with the printed word, whether it's through their own reading or their writing.
Make it fun, make it a game.
Absolutely.
You know, and students will respond to that. They want you. I remember playing Scrabble with my friends, and I wanted to win.
Oh, you on the problems?
Scrabble.
And I would read the dictionary just to beat my friends.
Yes, you need them Q words and them Z words. You know? Yes, Lord.
You know, so you're building vocabulary.
Absolutely.
You know, by any means necessary.
Oh man, I'm finna go buy Scrabble tonight. I'm buying Scrabble tonight because they got the new game where you can actually put it into the cube. You know, we mess around and lose some letters after a while, but you can put them in and they sit there. I'm about to go buy Scrabble. My kids, they finna get whooped. I'm about to get whooped. But I even remember in my childhood, in my father and mother's house, you never came home without homework, right? Because there was homework at home, even if the school didn't send any. we had books, and I just pulled up one of them because I started remember. It was called Brain Quest. So we used to have these workbooks,
Yes.
and you were gonna do something.
Yeah.
You know, you were gonna do 2 pages of something, and it was gonna be checked and verified before you got in the tub and got in the bed. You can eat all day, but afterwards you're gonna get this done, because they were very serious about us learning what we needed to learn. And you know, I think times have changed, unfortunately, in the way that we've allowed ourselves, as y'all said, to not value education the way we once did. We knew and saw it as our way out and our way in.
Yes.
To some new things, our way out of some bad things or places we didn't want to be. And it still is. But I think some of us have seen a few people make it without it. And now we think that that's the model or the pattern. You know, even the conversation, we start talking music, and this shit is straight church, no chaser. So we talk about rap artists and people of that sort. Now people don't want to get any education, right? Because Ebonics is the way that they're speaking. Meanwhile, they don't know that they graduated with a master's degree, and they don't know that they've learned all of this and they've done all of this. And so now they're patterning themselves after people that aren't even the pattern, and they don't even know the story behind the person.
All right.
You know, I just went to a Q convention, a school board convention in Chicago, and Ice-T was the speaker. Most of the, most people think he's this bad gangster.
Yeah.
But he's not. He said when he was in school, he was a smart guy.
I bet.
But he hung with the gangsters. And they would tell him, look, you're smart. You can get out of here.
Yeah.
We'll protect you.
Yeah.
So, but he said since the people, when he made his first song, I don't know what it is. I don't keep up with it.
I don't remember.
But whatever it was, he was saying the media started calling him gangster rap.
Yeah.
So he said, well, since that's what you're going to call me, I'll take it on. But that is not who he is.
No.
For him to make the money, the millions that he's making, it took book sense. It took the smarts.
Yep.
You know, what people label you as does not mean that is who you are.
Absolutely.
And that's what we have to understand.
Absolutely.
You know, as I was telling you earlier, my philosophy of education is my personal philosophy. Is that you only go to school for 2 reasons. That is to learn how to think logically, so that you are able to solve problems. And how to get along with people.
Absolutely.
You know, some people you have to learn what not to do from.
That's true.
And that's the best lesson they can give you.
Yes, that's all they have to offer. But we have to live with everybody, so we have to give people space to be them.
Absolutely.
And you be you.
Correct.
That's good.
Correct. I see people jumping in the chat. Xavier says she plays Scrabble with her parents. Dennis, Pastor Trey, here's a link you can visit. Brain Quest cards for the car. I remember that. We even had them for Black History. I remember that. And see, in school was just so different for me. I would be stirred by the videos we would watch. So I think there was a film that came out, My Friend Martin, and we watched it like in the 3rd or the 4th grade. And it naturally made me research Martin Luther King. And I started learning everything I could about Martin Luther King. And I was just so wrapped in that. And then we had things like book reports or reports on certain people. And I naturally went to Martin Luther King. When we were growing up, we even did a book report on the book called Holes. You remember the movie? Holes. We had to read Holes and we had to do a book report. And it was interesting because back then, a lot of what we were writing about had a ton to deal with the psyche of characters. So now we're reading into who people are, and we're like in the 8th grade. So that's always had me interested in psychology and just how the mind works. Xavier said Ice-T speaks so well. I bet he does, because old school MCs, they actually knew words and they knew how to use them, and they knew how to rhyme.
Especially when he considered like Tupac.
Yes.
It's poetry, right? but now we're dealing with jokers that can't even, their phonics is not right. I don't know what you said, bro. I do not know what you said. Context clues won't even give me a concept. Right? But best model of society in the future. Hoes was awesome. I still love that book. Bless you. That was you. You were big on MLK. Yes. And I was the person driving my parents to like, take me to Atlanta. Like, I'm trying to see. Like, I grabbed and grasped so many things from school to the extent that it probably got on my parents' nerves. Like, I remember being taught about CFCs and what we were allowing to get into the ozone layer.
Wow.
And everything needed to say no CFCs. And now I'm living in a world where I don't think we have one.
So I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? Al Gore was real on that thing.
Oh, yeah, that's Al Gore.
He told him you need to get this thing right.
Climate change.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
And it sure has changed, right?
Yeah, I did a debate on that. I had
my
really? To do a debate on that.
I bet that was good.
Oh, it was, and it was a vote with your feet debate. Where the people in the audience had to get up and go sit on the side that won the debate. We had some.
I like it. I used to watch
how to debate. You have to learn how to speak to people.
I was just about to say
in a proper way. Allow people to get their point across. You get your point across.
Yeah.
Without trying to drag other people down.
That's the positive connotation of an argument, right?
Yes,
where you have your facts and your perspective and you present it properly. And when I watched the great debaters, I was mad that I didn't have the opportunity to be on somebody's debate team because I would have argued. I probably got big mad because I'm passionate about what I believe. But no, I mean, just those things. It wasn't just the CFCs. It was when they taught us when you remember we used to have McGruff. Was it take a bite out of crime? And law awareness. Who was that? Yep. All of that. I went home and told my parents, like, we don't have a fire extinguisher at home. What are we doing?
Okay.
Boy, get out my face. And then they went and bought a fire extinguisher.
But that's why I say it's valuable to parents what the children learn because they take it home.
Absolutely. I remember when alarm systems came into houses, man. Folk getting broke in, and I'm like, hey, we need an alarm system. Wow. And so it does matter, but we can't put it all on the schools. The churches can step up and do their part, but it's not all on the churches. This is a time and a moment for the people in the house to make sure that the children are getting what they need to get. And I'm grateful for y'all's practical application. It's 4:59 on the dot. We could talk for 3 more hours, right? But I'm grateful for the practical tips that y'all gave us, the tools that you've given us. That simply, while you're walking in a grocery store, challenge your children to read. Mama used to do that for us back when we weren't acting like we were rich, and we used those things called coupons. Grandma used to call them coupons. Mama called them coupons. We used to have a little satchel. Mama called it a satchel for the moment.
Oh, yes.
And we used to put them in there. And it was dairy products, it was bread, and Mama made us read it, tell her what it was, and attempt to tell her how much it cost. I said, Mama, you showing out like this is not math class, but it was a prize for whoever was the closest to the price once we got to the register. I never forget moments like that. And those type of moments are somebody said, I still use coupons. Hey, girl, I saw some Burger King coupons came to my house yesterday. I said, that chicken sandwich sure look good. No, but for real, I think we need to be more intentional about these moments. Make sure that your children aren't the children that are being left behind. I heard it and you heard it. I'm going to let them speak one more time before we get off, Trey. I think that's okay. But Sister Claudia Mitchell said it just like this. Hey, don't be so reactive because you ain't stand up, you didn't wake up, you weren't proactive, okay? So be proactive now so you don't have to be so reactive in May when you get that little slip that don't look like a regular slip. And tell them to come to the same grade again. We don't want that to happen for anyone's children. I'm telling you, without a shadow of a doubt, I believe Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated has something they're about to do. that's going to help the entire community.
Oh, yes.
And I believe my brothers, my frat brothers, Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, we might be able to partner in doing some of that.
Yes.
I'm sure that the Omegas are ready to do some stuff. I think we can get the whole Divine Nine on this one way or the other, and we can make some things happen.
Absolutely, and that's our prayer.
Absolutely. Well, anything else y'all want to share with us?
I don't think we have anything more to add. You've done a wonderful job, and whatever else we might want to say, we hope that you will welcome us back.
Holla at your boy.
So that we can continue this conversation. Yes. And I would love to see some of the stories that our audience might have to share from their own experiences or experiences moving forward, that they can help us to do our, collect our
information, our data.
Awesome.
Yes, to collect our data on how well we're helping our babies.
I love it. If
we need feedback.
You need feedback. Is there an email or a place that they can send this feedback to?
We will find us on Facebook, or we will definitely get you an official email to send to the sorority.
All right. Now I have to do this. It's me being sarcastic, but being real at the same time. Is your real name your Facebook name?
Absolutely. Brenda Doremus Coleman.
There it is. Look, you know, folk, they get the hollering. I'm Pookie. I'm Pookie with the pink car.
And mine is I have two.
You have two.
This is my regular name, and then elect Claudia Mitchell.
Awesome. You can find them. You heard it here.
It's with our names.
It's their real name. The one down there.
It's really them.
Down there. Shout out to our sponsors again. We love y'all, family.
Absolutely.
Pastor Trey.
What you want me to shout out the sponsors?
It's on you, my man.
I mean, next time, just let me know. Just give me a nod or something. You just call me out. Give me a wink or a smile or a smirk or nothing.
Well, I ain't
know. Look, though, we do want to shout out our sponsors, the Wellness Coalition, working together to improve health and access for all. And again, we thank our A1s since day one, Loving Teddy Bear Foundation. Please make sure if you would like to give a donation to the Loving Teddy Bear Foundation, you may do so via their website, which is lovingteddybear.com, or on Cash App. Their cash tag is $Loving TB Foundation. Again, $Loving TB Foundation.
Absolutely.
Major shouts out to the Wellness Coalition and the Loving Teddy Bear Foundation.
I got another shout out. I got to shout out Sister Capucine Ware. Thank you so much for making this connection. You know I love you, and I'm so grateful for you. Thank you, because this is going to be major. We're going to get these kids where they need to be.
Yes.
Pastor Trey, we out of here?
Yeah, we done. All right. You just so dry, man. What's going on with you? It's been a long day.
No,
I think the 8 o'clock catching up with you.
I didn't know if you were doing something.
I think the 8 o'clock is catching up with you. It's okay. You just missing cues earlier. You missed your time to come in. Bro, missing layups.
I'm tired.
Trying to throw you an alley.
Throw me an alley. I'm finna dunk it this time.
No, that's okay. I got it.
We sure thank you for entertaining
us. We truly enjoy.
Well, we're grateful.
It's wonderful.
We're grateful.
It's been a joy.
We're grateful. We're gonna see y'all again.
Yeah.
We're gonna see y'all again.
Yeah, we thank God for these distinguished ladies of the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
My boy.
I got it.
Yes, sir.
I got it.
What?
I did good.
Excellent.
Yes,
sir. Excellent.
All right. Listen, we'll see you all. We'll be back next Friday. It's going up in a major way. Keep it locked. There's more great gospel music coming up, even after we leave the studio. Is Catholic playing tonight?
I don't think they have a game tonight, but they've been winning though.
Catholic has been doing it.
All they do is win.
Major shouts out to Montgomery Catholic. Listen, this is it for us. We're done. Sunday's coming. Make sure you get up, go to church, and if you got to go to work, make sure you tune in virtual. Do something, but make sure you find some type of way to worship and connect with your church family on this coming Sunday. You've been doing all of this other stuff. Don't leave God out. All right? Don't leave God out. And if you can get up and go to church, make sure you get up and go to church.
Go to church.
Go to somebody's church.
Go to church.
Amen. All right. We love you. See you next Friday. This is Straight Church.
No chaser.
With yours truly, Pastor Trey.
And your boy, Pastor Libby.
Peace.
Hey, family, how y'all doing? I hope y'all are cooking tonight. Them kids tired of pizza. Y'all can stop that. And stop getting the wings. Y'all stay out them places. Y'all cook some food now. Take that food out your freezer that you bought and cook that food. And if you don't know how to cook, YouTube will show you. Daisha said, nope. Dennis, yes, it was a great show. We're so grateful for these lovely ladies. We about to get off of here, family. We just wanted to give you the opportunity to know that we're grateful for you, for sticking in with us, for staying with us. These your boys, Pastor Trey, Pastor Lee B, and your sisters, Brenda Coleman and Sister Claudia Mitchell. Can y'all wave at our viewers and let them know y'all love them?
Yes, we do.
We out of here, family. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
That